Welcome, Lions. Thank you for checking out our November 14th, 2021 webinar featuring District Governor Rajni Patel, immediate past District Governor Dave Wilbert, and past District Governor Ron Coleman. Together, they tell of their journey as a team of leaders that moved GMA down to the club level, which has resulted in a win for both the district and the club. And just to top things off, the district and the club are ready to seal the deal on a Leo's Club. So please welcome District 11A1's team.
Now I'd like to welcome today's presentation, New Day, New Way. Our presenters are District Governor Rajni Patel and immediate past District Governor Dave Wilbert and past District Governor Ron Coleman. All three Lions are active leaders in Michigan's 11A1 district. District Governor Rajni Patel is a member of the Detroit Renaissance Lions Club since 1999, has served many positions and projects of club and district. She has a bachelor's degree in political science, a master's degree in education administration, and an MBA in human resources. She worked as a teacher with the Detroit Public Schools for 20 years and later in the state of Michigan Health and Human Services. She has two children and is a doting grandmother of two grandchildren. I love that term, doting. To me, that sounds like they're spoiled, but I just love that. Immediate past District Governor Dave Wilbert is a member of the Westland Lions Club for 14 years. He has a double bachelor's degree in psychology and sociology and a master's degree in liberal studies with specific focus in juvenile delinquency and behavior. Immediate past District Governor Dave is a retired firefighter and paramedic from the city of Westland. Westland, Michigan Fire Department with the rank of sergeant. Immediate past District Governor Dave enjoys playing musical instruments. As Michiganders go, Dave has a resounding blue color. All right, I got to get this right because this is really important. As Michiganders go, Dave has a resounding blue color without a tinge of green. So I'm sure some people will understand that. Our veteran Lion in the group is past District Governor Ron Coleman, who joined the Detroit Renaissance Lions Club in 1979. Past District Governor Ron has served in many club and district positions through the years. He's a retired public health pharmacy director with a master's in public health. Lion Ron has been awarded numerous presidential appreciation and leadership awards from his accomplishments and chairs for Lions Quest. And is that me doing that? I don't think it's somebody else. Let me quick. It's Joe. Sorry, Joe, I had to mute you. Okay. Lion Ron is awarded a Melvin Jones Fellowship by his club. He has organized 3 clubs and sponsored over 30 new members. He believes that good Lion leaders must mentor Lions to take over their positions and become distinguished leaders. Lion Ron is married to Lion Luana Lofton Coleman. He has 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. Please welcome our speakers. And up front is going to be Lion Dave?
Yes.
All right, take her away, Dave.
All right, thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming today, all Lions that are here and guests. And we are hoping to give a good program that you can use to take back to your clubs and your districts. And we're happy to entertain any questions along the way, or I think we're having a question and answers at the end. Basically, we want to talk about GMA and how at our district level last year, we were able to start using that to kind of get through to the clubs that we want to continue our service as Lions despite the pandemic. Of course, all of us have had the same challenges during the year because of the pandemic. On some clubs, we're having difficulty meeting, which they weren't prior to that. So we had to come up with ways to do stuff differently. So in my district, we came up with a couple themes to start off our year. And this was just our way of doing it. You can do things your own way in your own clubs and districts, but we're just trying to give you an example of what seemed to work for us. Our general theme was New Day, New Way. We realized that with the pandemic, things were going to have to be done out of the box and done differently. So I encouraged my team and district to come up with creative ways to gain new members and to continue club service. As part of that, we also had a district theme that we said that I came up with was team pride and service to all. And we use that to talk about, we can't do this alone. It takes team to do it. Even as district governor last year, there's no way I could have done any of this by myself. So it takes a team to do it. I know all of you know that. And that's from district level down to club level. So as we're starting to talk about GMA, I had to think about what we could do to gain membership, first of all. In doing that, on your screen on the PowerPoint, you see that we had to come up with a way to try to, I wanted to start a charter club in my year as district governor. So I was trying to find out ways to do that. And we happened upon one of our clubs, our Southgate Club, had a member, her name was Anna Henderson. And what she did was she invited Vice District Governor Rashni Patel to an art fair that they were having at one of our local churches in Detroit, in our district, the Detroit Greater St. John New Life Church. So they had an art fair. At the beginning, had nothing to do with a connection to Lionism, but Anna went to that church and she also was a Lion of the Southgate Club. So she invited Vice District Governor Rashni to come to that art fair. When Rashni heard about that, she contacted me as district governor and asked me to also attend the art fair. And we talked ahead of time and we said, we'll go and we'll see what it's about. When we got down there, we found out that they do a lot of service in their church for their local area in Detroit, which is part of our district. We have 12 clubs, well now 13, but we had 12 clubs in our Detroit area alone out of our 36 that encompass Wayne and Monroe County. So Anna Henderson introduced myself to Bishop Russell Schaller of that church. And we kind of helped out with the art fair. We were kind of observing, we were creating contacts. And in doing that, we started talking about Lionism. And we were noticing that the church does a lot of service projects that are very similar to what we were doing as Lions. Next slide, Dave. So we were trying to educate this church about what Lions do. Lions International, from the international level to the state level, to the district level, to the club level. And of course, you are all familiar who are Lions with some of these areas of focus that you see on the screen. We deal with vision, hunger, diabetes, natural disasters, and environment. So in talking to Pastor Schaller, I kind of was explaining to him about these different subjects and what we do as Lions. And it was very interesting to find out that the great majority of these topics are things they focused on as Christian parishioners of his church. So at that point, I started telling him that my idea was to create a new Lions Club in my district. And I was wondering if his church would be interested in maybe being forerunners of that. They decided that that might be something they would be interested in. So we talked to the Southgate Club because we knew we weren't going to have, to have a new club, you have to have 20 members, but to get a start off, you can have a branch club of only 5 members. So at this art fair, I was able to talk to enough people along with my team to find out that there was probably more than 5 people that might be interested in becoming Lions. They just had a lot of questions. So we said we would come and visit them a couple times, go to a couple different services, and talk with them afterwards and see what interest we had. And I talked to the Southgate Club since Anna Henderson was a part of that. And I asked them if they would be willing to sponsor a branch club out of their club, which they of course agreed to do. So once we got rolling on that, it just took some time to really encourage the people with education and being creative and thinking of ways that we could connect and kind of work together to create a club out of this church. Go ahead to the next slide. So in doing this, of course, I was trained as a vice governor in the NAMI process, but now we're calling it global membership approach. So I was really trying to use my training that I got from LCI on how to go about this. And I just wanted to touch on about 4 different points here. that I used and I had my team use as we kind of were talking with this new church group about how we wanted to create a new Lions Club in our district through them. The first bullet point is leadership. And of course, as I'm talking to Pastor Schaller, I had to figure out who in this church would be possible leaders. When you have a Lions Club, you have a president, a secretary, treasurer, and members, and you have people that kind of sometimes move up and become leaders in the group. When you're starting a brand new club, it's a little bit more difficult because I didn't go to this church. I didn't know the people very well. So I really had to talk to the bishop and say, what we need is a structure that works for Lionism. This is our system. This is how we do it. We have, a club that has a president, officers of the club, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, membership chair, and all these other things. And so he started telling me some names of people he thought would be possible leaders at the church. And so that was one way that we started now using this GMA approach to dive down into the club level, because we didn't even have the club set yet, but I had to start using this approach to try to create the club. And Governor Roshni, who was vice governor at the time, was very instrumental in coming down to that church and helping out with talking to these people about what Lions is about and what GMA is. The approach was. The second step is new members. Obviously, we needed people. So we just talked to everybody. We didn't really keep very, closed-minded about anything. We just kept an open mind. We answered all questions that we could as honest as possible. Some people had questions about the dues and the money, and we went through all of that. But we understand that in order to create a club, we're going to need people. So that was our focus too, getting numbers. We understood that starting with 5 would be a start point. We want to get up to 20 and then more to become a full club. Part of that is member satisfaction too. When we talk to people, we want to make sure that they are understanding what our approach is and what our service focus is, and being Lions and helping out our communities. And that you are not just part of a club, but you're part of a district, which is also part of the state of Michigan, MD11 in this case, which is part of the United States, which is part of the world, 210 countries, 1.4 million members worldwide, largest service organization in the world. People were excited about that. These people in the church were really getting, asking us a lot of questions, and we knew we had some really good things that we could help and teach them about and use their skills and knowledge to help us out. But we want them to be satisfied in what they're doing. So what we did is we would talk to them and say, what kind of things are you interested in doing here? What do you already do in the church to help out your neighbors and your community? And so it created dialogue, and it really was a good thing to engage them in communication. It wasn't just us coming in and talking them, like giving a speech or a class, but it was like us coming in and communicating and saying, what can we do to help you? We would like you to become a club. Here's some parameters that we have to follow, but what do you need from us? And then, of course, step 4 is the new clubs. And I mentioned this already, but we started out on a smaller level with 5 people so we could create an existing branch club with the goal of eventually getting enough members to become a full club of 20. We want to increase the synergy through collaboration between the church and Lion activities. Now, as you branch out in your districts and clubs, you don't necessarily have to reach out to a church. That's one way that we did to get a new club and new members. But you could go to other local organizations in your community or your schools or businesses and reach out that way. It might be a business in your neighborhoods that no one's went to and asked, hey, do you know about Lions? Do you know what we do in the community? Maybe you might be interested. And then, of course, we had to have paperwork initiated through this to start a new branch club. And this is when I kind of was really relying on past District Governor Ron, who you're going to hear from shortly, because he had a lot of experience on starting clubs prior to when I was even a Lion. And so I asked him if he would be the guiding Lion for this new club and help to construct a purpose and a plan for moving forward. So that's a little bit of where I was doing as the district governor, as far as starting to try to connect this church to Lionism, start a new club, and using what I was taught is the global membership approach to kind of getting down on the club level and making this work. I think on the next couple slides are a couple pictures. Yeah, this is one of the times when I was initiating some of the members. We didn't wait till we got 20 people to give them their Lions pin and swear them in as Lions. If we only had 2 or 3 people at a service, after the service was over, I went ahead and did a small ceremony and made them Lions, gave them their pins, their certificates from LCI. So this is one of the pictures of one of the groups. Pastor Schaller standing next to me on the right, second to the right. And he is the president of this new club. And he does have a team now with full officers in that. Next slide. That's, again, one of the swearing ins that we were getting ready to do. And you can see we had our masks on. That was another thing. Prior to this program, we were talking off camera about the problems with this pandemic and that some clubs are not even meeting right now. We're not forcing anybody to get out there, but we did encourage them, let's wear our masks, let's sanitize, let's not just fold up and do nothing. We need to get out there and do stuff, but it is a safety thing and we totally understand that. And some of our district members too are still a little bit gun shy about getting out in public. But anyway, here we are out trying to gain new members. Next slide. So here I was speaking at one of the services. There was one of their worship services and they invited me up to go ahead and speak. And then we had some younger members of their church that came to one of the meetings. And that was really good because I think all of these young people were over 18. And I think 4 of the 5 of them joined this new club. One of them would have joined, but she was going into the military. And we told her, you can be in the military and still be connected to this club because we can use cyber mechanisms, whatever, to keep them as members. But basically, that's what we really wanted to tap into, some of the young people, not just the elderly of the congregation, but we wanted to look at the young people because I think we're finding that we really need to bring young people and more women into our clubs to gain membership. Next slide. That's Pastor Schaller up at the mic talking. Next. Okay. I think this slide is going to be Governor Roshni, but before she starts, I just wanted to kind of give a little summary to my portion that I really just think that we have to keep our minds open-minded and think out of the box. That's what I was teaching my district to do. We can't just say well, we used to do things 20 years ago this way. It doesn't work anymore, not just because of the pandemic either. Times have changed. Because of the pandemic, we've gotten into Zoom now. That's a good way for clubs to meet safely. If they don't want to meet out in public at a restaurant, they can get a Zoom account and get online and meet that way. You can call them on the phone. Some clubs have really older members that don't want to even do Zoom or don't know how to use the computer. Call them on the phone then. You can even get on Zoom through a phone call where you don't have to manipulate the computer keyboard. So we're just trying to think creatively, innovatively, and expand our horizons. Some of the things that worked in the past that are still working, yeah, keep those. Tradition is good. Keep that tradition. But also don't be afraid to open the box and say, we got to come up with some new ways of doing things. With that, I'm going to pass on to current District Governor Roshni Patel to continue the program. Thank you.
Thank you, past District Governor Lion Dave Weinman, as well as all the members who are present, and also to Governor Dave Wilbert and past District Governor Lion Ron. I just want to say that there are many, many, many meetings we had with them. What we would do is, because we wanted to increase the membership, we would actually go to the church regularly. Sometimes we sat in on the long sermons that Bishop Schaller had, but we did sit in. We talked to individuals, including the young members. We gave them the applications if they were interested, and there were some that said, "Oh, we'll think about it." No pressure. We also made sure that their dues were paid, and not everybody could pay the dues immediately. So we gave them the flexibility of paying it the way they wanted to pay. At times, Bishop Schuyler would say, okay, I will take care of this. And he would either pay for them and then collect the dues from them, or they would pay and say, okay, well, I'm going to pay $10 now, and then next time we meet, I'll pay you some more, and so forth. So we had given that responsibility to our sponsoring club, which was Southgate Club, and Robert French, who was the president, made sure that he would be collecting the dues per members and then reporting it to Bishop Schuyler and keeping an account. The other thing we did was we talked to them about what they were interested in and what they could do. For example, at the point where Lion Dave mentioned, we were wearing masks. And so the district, as well as the state of Michigan at that point, was collecting masks from all over the state. So we asked them to contribute some masks, and Bishop Schuyler was ready to just jump in, and all the members said, yeah, we can do the masks. And they provided masks, not just for their own clubs, but they also gave it out to our group, saying, distribute these masks. Of course, their masks had the symbol of a cross and so forth, but that is a project, and we respected that. The masks were made of, I guess, the cloth masks, which he ordered. So they were encouraged to do that as well. The other thing that always gets Lions involved is sharing a meal. It's a good way to approach people as well. When you're talking, when you're eating and having a meal with them, it makes them feel good that you're not at the upper echelon class and you're down to earth. You want to make them feel comfortable. And then you just have small talk with them. We don't have to talk about Lions. You can talk about your family, your friends, give some examples of what you have done, how things are at present. So this is what we did. And if you can imagine how many meals we had with Bishop Schuyler, we took some at times. We took a few things with us as well. I remember Ron bringing in some donuts regularly. And I took some things at times, and then we would just basically share the meal. So if you can move on to the next slide, please. See, this is an example of how we were sharing the meal. We were taking pictures, making them feel good as well, and just having a good time. Next slide, please. Okay. In addition to that, we created or coordinated the officers with the clubs. And at this point, I would like Ron to share the experience of creating the Leo's Club along with our present or new club.
Well, thank you, Governor Roshni. It's been a great challenge to create a new club during this pandemic time, and of course we have to, as our past district governor Dave said, this is a new day, and we have to find a new way to do things that we've been doing for many years, and it's not always been so easy. And so in this case, the coordination of the officers, I had to speak to Bishop Schuyler to let him know that we do have officers. And I was so glad that he was so easy to work with. And he understood it because in the church they have officers. So it was an easy transition to have officers in the new club. So we talked about the new officers and what the new officers' duties would be. And we sat around the table and broke bread while we were doing this. just learning who each of us were at the time. And I would be giving them experiences that I've encountered as a district governor, as a club president, club secretary, cabinet secretary, treasurer many years ago, and as a current cabinet secretary. And so it was easy for these these new Lions, to learn our way of doing things. So on that note, I would just bring it up that, we are an association. We're not stamped as what one club does, all clubs do. We are an association of clubs, and each club does it their own way, as long as we're bringing in new Lions, paying our dues, and serving our communities. So setting up the bank account was one thing. We had a little difficulty at first because Bishop Schaller he wasn't quite able to get that bank account set up at his own bank. So he went through a credit union that was the same bank that the Southgate Club used, his sponsoring club. And so that finally worked out, and we were able to transfer funds from the Southgate Club into their new bank account because now they were getting to a point where they were starting to get bills from international, and they had to pay these bills. So we established the club meeting days, so it'd be on a regular basis, and everybody would know that this is when we met for the Lions Club. They were already at church most days of the week, so it was easy for them to do this. And as was already mentioned, they have a lot of service going on in their church, because the area that the church is located in is in the east side of Detroit, and there's a lot of people there that need help. They need services. They need to eat. They need to have conversation with other people. And it's so it's been a great benefit to the community as a church. And now as a affiliation with Lions Club International, they are they have a great opportunity to serve more people and to service them in different ways. And one of those ways that I spoke about with Bishop was the Defense Against Diabetes program that our district has. We won a grant for through the state from Lions Club International Foundation. And so as a matter of fact, I have invited them to participate in our next workshop, which will be January 27th for 8 weeks. It's free. And so in the community that they live in, there are a lot of people that have diabetes and need the benefits of a class where they can learn how they can better take care of their own diabetes. We discussed the district and state projects. We talked about leader dogs. We talked about Penricton. We talked about the other service projects, Bear Lake Camp, and we're hoping and anticipating that this new Lions Club will share their the collections in their activities account with the state and district projects. Next slide, please. Well, when it came time to talk about the governor's appreciation, this is something that was pretty interesting, and I posed it to immediate past District Governor Dave, who was the governor at the time. I asked him, I said, Lion Dave, I've got a proposal for you, and it may sound crazy, but how about having the governor's appreciation and the governor's most outstanding accomplishment for the year, which is the charter celebration, at the same time? So there was a little brief pause for a minute, And Governor Dave came back and said, Ron, that's not so crazy after all. And here's the reason why. In a new day, with a new way that we're doing things, we all have to appreciate that, as Diane Wiebe said, we have to do things different. And just because you have a small club doesn't mean that you can't do great things. And in this case, our governor comes from a smaller club. It's not one of those with 25, 30, 40, 50. And the sponsoring club for our new club, it's a very small club. But from small clubs can come great things. And so what we had to do was the district, we established a committee. I was a co-chair with Lyon Michelle Turner White, and Governor Dave appreciated that. So we thought we would have a committee and include some of the people from the Governor's Club and some of those from the Southgate Club to work on this committee, but have a strong committee with members from around the district to work for this new hybrid type of celebration. What do you think? Appreciation with a charter club? Oh boy, so many people were, oh Ron, that won't work. We've never done it like that. It'll cost too much money. Well, look at it, gang. We only had to find one location. We had to find one date that didn't conflict with any of the University of Michigan football games, of course. Line Dave. And we only had to put down, we didn't have to put down a deposit, thank goodness. We only had to invite people one time for one event that was a hybrid of an appreciation and a charter party. Wow, that was great. And it worked out great. We had a great attendance. We had great food. We had International Director Justin Faber as our speaker. We had a great MC, past District Governor Johnny Dowd. Oh, wow, it was great. And we had Governor Dave was very appreciative. And so we look at it, we had the charter members were there, they signed the charter, and we presented the charter membership certificates and pins with International Director Justin Faber and Constitutional Area Coordinator Dave Weinman there in attendance. We had a great turnout. And I guess I just want to say how important it was to past District Governor Dave that he had a great attendance of his own consul there and international director and our coordinator for the constitutional area. Wow, what a great turnout, Dave. It was fantastic. So the road ahead, what did it look like? What do we do? Right now, we're up to about, instead of 20 members, charter members, and that's all there were, that club is up over 30 members now. And along the way, Bishop Schaller, the president of the club, he says, I would like to have a Leo club. Wow, how did we think about the Leo club? And so at the last meeting a week ago, we got applications for 4 Leos. And at this time we have about 7. So we're heading towards a Leo club. What more can you ask for? This has been a great opportunity to show how a small club, 2 small clubs, one with a district governor and one that chartered a new club. So nothing is impossible. We don't want to have our thoughts in check. We want to make sure that we have a great opportunity for all clubs to excel. and back to the NAMI, used to be NAMI, now GMA, you do have to have the team for each club in order for that team to develop a vision, a plan, and to celebrate the success of new members and new ideas, because that's how your club will grow, with new members and new ideas. So thank you very much. And I think the move on with the next, are there more slides? Yes. And here's the charter that the new members signed at the celebration. It was a fantastic celebration. Next slide. Wow, look at that. Look at all those smiling faces. International directors, outgoing governor, incoming governor, president of a charter club. And wow, look at theirs. It's a great picture of what Lions can look like. Very diverse and very inclusive of all segments of our community. So there you go. Have we got it? One more? Oh, and by the way, run that back, that last slide. The big kahuna. Next slide. There we go. The presentations by International Director Faber to First Vice President Damon Lewis. And photos of all of the other members and participants. Oh, this was the committee. This was our committee that did the great work. And so we're so proud of them to have come together to put on this hybrid presentation of a appreciation and a charter event. And we really want to thank all of them. There's another certificate, charter certificate being presented to Lion Katie Lewis. Keep going. And more, and more. That's Bishop Schaller receiving his certificate. Keep going. And this is Katie Lewis's daughter. And there we are. We were kind of wrapping it up there as Governor Dave, there he is again. And this is our committee with Lion Michelle on the far right side and myself on the far left, and Governor Dave, Bishop Schaller, and Governor Roshni.
You know, I think one of the things, I was so honored to be there. And one of the things that stood out for me, and past District Governor Ron, you really pointed this out, is that sometimes it's good to do things just a little bit different, or new day, new way, as you put it. And you guys did a governor appreciation dinner with a new club charter, and I can't think of anything more honoring than have two celebrations like that together. I mean, at first you think, well, I should have each one by ourselves, you know, but you think about it, it's really, you're celebrating all the good things that the governor's done, but what the heck, one of the good things that's come together is that district came together with a club, and a club that I have to tell you, they've got a lot of live wires, and you can already see the good things that they've done and the energy that they have and the youth that they have. I can't think of a better way to celebrate a governor's appreciation dinner than to have a new club present and have it their charter night. I just think that you guys did such a wonderful job, and it showed, to me, it showed what can happen when you do GMA, or global membership approach. And I hate the word membership in there, because really, when we say membership, we should be thinking of all of the members, not getting new members. And all too often we think getting new members. It's not just about new members. It's about leading our members and being a part of doing the service that Lions do. And you guys did a wonderful job. You worked as a district, but you took it down to the club level, and to see some of the things that the club did. And then just to hear it, I think, Roshni, do you want to share what just happened with that club?
Oh, yes. Last weekend, that means actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we had asked the district to bring in anything that they wanted to give away to help the families in need. We had furniture, clothes, utensils, brand new clothes, jackets, you name it, we had it. And then we had a bunch of our Lions and Bishop Schuyler's team break down everything into men's clothes, women's clothes by sizes, bed sheets, you name it. We had to sort them out. And then we opened the doors to the public, of course, with enough advertising. And we gave away so much. We had hordes of people. I cannot even tell you how many people just came, picked up the stuff and left. Michelle White, one of our Lions, rented a U-Haul to bring in some furniture, some beds. Some of them were new, brand new, unused. And we gave away as much as we could, and it helped. It helped people who had lost their homes in fire, in flooding, whatever. But we felt good, and we still have enough, and we are going to continue doing that next weekend. And this is from our newest club, and they gave us the permission to use the church facilities. So it helped the needy. We felt good because we did something very positive, and all the credit does go to all the people that worked, all the clubs that participated. I must say one thing: you're as strong as your team is. We alone cannot do everything on our own. Bring in people, like Diane said, bring in positivity. Like Dave Weinman said, everything has to be positive, and we need strong people to be positive.
And I think you highlighted another thing along the way there as well, is that you said you took the approach, how can I help you? As leaders, our job is to help others be successful. And, I think that's one of the greatest things that we can do is to draw out the leadership in others, to be able to give them the opportunity to be leaders and help, give them the leg up in getting there. And you guys did exactly that. Would you guys like me to open it up to questions now?
Sure.
If anybody has a question, just unmute. Let's just be respectful, one at a time, but unmute and fire away. These folks have done a great job, and I just wish each of you could meet this club, because the club is truly fantastic. Please, anyone have a question? Nobody does. How many members are in that club right now?
About 33.
About 33. And this is just, it was chartered, that was what, October or September?
May 9th. Well, initially it was May 19th, and it went through 90 days, went through August 19th.
Right.
And at that point, we had 24 members that were considered charter members. So they've added nine new members that are not charter members, but they are new members of the club now, and they're at 33 right now.
And growing.
And one of the things that I really think stood out is that there were people that they shared the leadership in the club. The pastor was the president, but there were many people that you could see were live wires. They had an interest in different things in that club, and they led that part of it as a team. Has anybody in the audience had a similar experience where their teams were leaders in clubs? I think we scared everybody away, or we put them to sleep. I think this is just shyness at this point yet.
I think I take that as a good sign that maybe we answered a lot of their questions during our program. But I am very humbled and very honored that we were able to put this on, and I thank you, Dave Weinman, for inviting, our team to do that, to do this, because I met so many friends through the Lions clubs and through my years of being vice governor and governor, my council of governors, the other 10 districts in the state of Michigan, and even branching out to the Midwest, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin. I mean, I've met so many good people in the Lions, and truly people I can call friends. And I know we have representatives here from other districts, so I want to thank everybody for your time. And if there's anything that any of the districts need or questions, or that you don't think about now but down the road, feel free to contact me, or I'm sure Governor Roshni would say the same. And we'd be glad to help you out with any ideas or support that we can. We're in this as a team, not just as a district, but we're part of the state. We're part of the United States. We're part of the whole international. We're very proud to be a part of that.
And it sure shows. Yep,
and I
go ahead.
also want to acknowledge Lion Lula Godfrey. She's been there as our backbone from the very beginning of starting this club. And even yesterday, she was there doing all kinds of work. So thank you.
I have a question.
Can I ask how you identified the church?
A member of one of our existing clubs, our Southgate Club, was a member of that church, and they were having an art fair as one of their activities.
Okay.
And so she talked to her Southgate Club and said, hey, maybe we can, come down and support the art fair. That she eventually got in touch with Vice Governor Roshni at the time, who invited me to come as district governor. And that's how we went down to the art fair of the church. And that's when we started making relationships and friendships and communicating with them, and starting to educate them on who we were as Lions.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
See, now it's at a church and it's a lot of members. What's the name of the club? And it's great that they got a spot to meet, and I'm a Christian and I'm all for it. I just wonder what's the actual club name?
Detroit Greater St. John Lions Club.
Okay.
It's a little shorter than the actual church name. It is the Greater St. John New Life Church. So as it was being named, Governor Dave thought it would be a little shorter to just to shorten it, to make it a little easier for everybody to kind of get it off their tongue. And also when it comes to writing the name, just so we had it right. It was just easier, Detroit Greater St. John.
And I think it demonstrates how we can do specialty clubs as well as just regular Lions clubs. It just takes getting out into your community. And really what you guys did is you worked as a team yourselves, but you also engaged the church as a team, and that teamwork approach sure did work.
Yeah, I think Dave, I think if we as we've been discussing, if we keep trying to do things the way we've been doing them, then you may get the same results. When you kind of come out of the box, as past District Governor Dave said, you can find new ways to get things done that you never thought of before. And so this is certainly one of those times when we were able to do that and utilize some skills of people that we didn't even know they had these skills. We didn't know the church was doing this. So this just might be an opportunity to look at churches in the neighborhood that we've been going to or going by, and take a look and see what kind of services that they are doing that might align with the very same things that we're doing.
Absolutely. Immediate past District Governor Dave, how did you feel having, instead of all the burden of forming new clubs and communication, how did that make you feel having a team like you did behind you?
Oh, it was everything that I needed to help lead the district. I mean, when I became governor, we were already, into the pandemic for a few months. And I realized that during my year, the full year of my term I was going to be called the governor of the pandemic in my district. Not that I caused the pandemic, just saying.
Yep.
But it made me feel good to know that there was such a good team around me. There's no way possible, no way, shape, or form that I would have been able to do this alone, or even with a couple people. I needed to have a good base, good foundation. And I was thinking about my old coach, Bo Schembeckler from U of M, that said, the team. And I thought, I'm going to run with that, but change it into my own motto. And I put team, pride, and service to all. And I just said, you know what? We're a pride of Lions, and I'm going to create this good team. And it wasn't hard to do because my district had a lot of people to choose from, and we work well together, as I've seen in other districts too. Because my council of governors, I met with other districts too, and I noticed that the districts that have good, solid teamwork really makes it successful for you as governor, because it's not about me, it's about us and what we can do to serve our overall goal we serve. So to answer your question, I am extremely proud of my team, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Piggybacking on what Lion Dave said, personal approach to me is the best approach. You talk to a person individually and say, this is what I trust you to do. This is what I would like you to do because you are good at whatever you're doing. And you'll be surprised.
What do you think was the outcome or the result of you guys working together as a team? What did it do for your district? Did it energize them, or did it? What happened to your district as a result of what you guys did?
Ron,
We're
do you want to
definitely
take that?
growing. Sorry.
Yeah, for the district, I've been around for a long time. I've worked on I've worked on charter parties. I've worked on appreciations, and this one was so special because there were a lot of naysayers out there. And when we had 109 people there, and that was pretty doggone good. Considering the pandemic, we were trying to stay safe and keep everybody healthy. And from the naysayers, all they could do afterwards, a lot of people came back and said, Ron, we don't know how you guys did it, but you sure did a great job. We got so many compliments from people that were there, and people that weren't there. They heard about our success and they were raving about it. So, it's what you do. I'm from Missouri, so I'm one of those show me kind of people. If you can't show me, then I don't believe you. And so in this particular instance, I think our district showed everybody. We had people from, Governor Dave had people from the UP come down. And so that was fantastic. And of course, we gave them a little acknowledgement for the person that came the longest distance. And so one of his council members from the UP, they were there and they were happy. They gave us a lot of compliments on the work that we had done.
Well, you guys sure did a good job with that. And I know that just looking at District 11A1, I saw so much more energy come into your district. It shows the power of a team, what a team can do, which is, by the way, for many of those that may not realize it yet, that is really what GMA is. It's a team building framework. And then you folks adopted an attitude of both being winners, but also being winners in a way that, how can I help you, as in the club that you guys formed, how we can help you be a winner? And I think that's what really contributes to the overall success and everybody being excited. Because face it, it's fun to watch success, but it's a lot more fun to be part of it. So,
Yes.
and I compliment you folks. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you for stopping in to the Midwest Lions Alliance TV channel. If you have questions or comments about this webinar, feel free to contact me. I'm Area Leader and past District Governor Dave Weinman. My email is dw@abadata, that's ABADATA.com. Until next time, we serve. Cheers.